Hi guys, my IGN is Forrest Dump. Welcome back once again. This is the first part of my new guide series called In Lane. It's been a long time, roughly about 6 months since I released my last video. That's mostly because I got a job offer to work as a management assistant in IT systems in 2013, which I took. From there on it was pretty much work and sleep, 6 days a week, something like that. But since I finished the project I was working on towards the end of 2013, I now have more free time once again, and I want to invest this free time into new content throughout Season 4. Now with the ELO reset and PS4 changes as well, as goal flow and vision changes, there are a lot of things we could talk about, but I choose to go with the patches this time, and I'll try to update these sort of patch guides whenever I can. In this video I want to talk about the kind of holy support trinity which developed throughout the preseason. Any Thresh and Leona are arguably the most contested support picks at the moment. Both Thresh and Leona win rates above 50% and are able to dominate the current bot lane meta pretty heavily. A lot of people still ask me what runes do I take for this and that, or for certain matchups. Well, that's the reason I started this new guide series. And yeah, let's start off with Thresh. In theory, Thresh is the perfect support champion. He got a long range engage, melee disengage, AoE slow, long range escape, which includes a shield, a passive which provides free armor and AP, and the list goes on and on. I mean, like, did you ever try to get past a skilled Thresh who lands all his skill shots on a 40% cooldown? Unless you're Olaf, you might as well stand still, because you won't move anywhere anyway. Thresh sits at a 51.5% win rate in solo queue, which is above the average. And while Thresh's base stats got nerfed and in Season 3 he remains powerful due to a, don't want to call it bad, it's a broken kit. I don't want to call him a design flaw itself, but this guy is pretty much the perfect support, assuming you hit your spells. And that's also the only problem that comes with Thresh. He is kind of mechanical demanding. So to clarify some points, I want to go into masteries, and I go with 0.27.3. It provides a bit of an early game boost in stats, as well as a little bit of movement speed. This mastery page only works if you are certain that you hit your spells, otherwise you will run in a heartbeat without filling the role of an actual support, because you remain a meat shield without mana. For runes I like to take AD marks, armor seals, and depending on the matchup either MR glyphs or CDR glyphs. For crins I like to go with the plus 78 HP, works pretty well with a Doran shield as a starting item. Now let's talk a little bit about how, in my opinion, Thresh is supposed to be played in lane. So, what you want to do in lane. Let your passive regain its full power and auto attack the enemy AD carry right away. That's just simply for maximum DPS, nothing more. You also want to stand in front of your AD carry, not behind him. General rule here, stand in front of your AD carry, closer to him than to your enemies. You also want to provide a lantern when walking out of base or while rotating lanes. Your AD carry will be thankful for the extra 3 CS or so, just because he skipped 3 seconds of walking back into lane. You also want to use your flay before hooking whenever you can. Hooking an impaired enemy, aka a slowed enemy, is much easier. What you don't want to do is, for example, wasting your hook. That's the same story as with Blitzcrank. Once you miss your stuff, your hook, you're pretty much inviting your enemies to go for free res on your AD carry, just because you lost the most important tool in terms of engaging, and without actually achieving anything. You also don't want to flay back when you should have been the other direction. I know that seems kind of obvious, but I mean, just go into bot games and practice smart caster plays as long as you can, till it's perfectly working for you. You also don't want to throw your lantern right on top of your mate. I've often seen people who want to help out their AD carry and just throw the lantern right on their face. You don't want to do that. You want to predict the movement of your fleeing teammate and throw the lantern in front of him so he can pick it up while fleeing. You also don't want to waste your W for picking up souls in the early game, because in the early game every single trade can be a deciding factor whether you are able to zone or you are being zoned. So don't waste a shield just for the sake of picking up souls. It's not worth it. So all in all, when it comes down to what is the most essential thing I have to learn about Thresh, it's simply you gotta hit your shit. Most important part after all. No, seriously, besides general game knowledge, as support, this is the most important part for Thresh players. Hit your stuff and you're good to go. So guys, this was the first part of the in-lane guide series. I'm going to put up the next 2 parts, which are planned at the moment. Maybe at the end of this week or next Monday, I don't really know yet. But what I do know is that I would love if you would subscribe to my channel. As I said before, I'm going to put up new stuff every week at least for you guys. And yeah, I hope you liked the video. See you next time.